What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Trey.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Back at it with another video.
Another one.
And in this clip, we're going to be talking about something that I think I appreciate, right? I know a lot of people that were Trump supporters are Trump supporters. I have plenty of conversations about the state of our country, about politics and this, that, and the third with these people. Majority of the time, nobody is willing to admit that there are second thoughts, that that they made a mistake, or that hey, I believed in something that President Trump said, and it turns out that he wasn't being honest. Majority of the people that I deal with do not admit that they were duped. Right? It is what it is. What it is. Now, in this clip, it's another clip of Tim Miller and Saagar Enjeti having their discussion amongst each other. And again, this is one of the reasons why I appreciate independent media. Saagar is a conservative. He voted for Trump twice. And he admits that he believed in a lot of the things Trump said on the campaign trail, and that's what he supported, and that's what he agreed with. So I can appreciate that, even if I disagree with his point of view, even if I disagree with his principles. We can have a conversation back and forth about why I disagree with it. The fact that he's willing to admit that, it speaks volumes. Majority of people will not admit anything. They will just draw a line in the sand, and if Trump changes his mind, they change their mind too. And that is just an argument or a conversation that I just can't entertain. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the video.
I'll tell you, I mean, this is everyone's on an "I told you so" tour right now, and that's fair. I think we deserve it. I think there were, of course, various different things were happening. Trump can say all
some issues
fault policy of the United States under Donald Trump. There were, of course, various different things were happening. Trump can say all things to all people, and he really is that. If anything, that's his superpower. Okay, so that was the framework which we're operating. So there is a 4-year project after Trump. Yeah. Of Jared Kushner, of people like this, their worldview, especially with the departure of Steve Bannon, became the default policy of the United States under Donald Trump. Everyone's on an "I told you so" tour right now, and to protect the ear of the king, you have to tell the king what he wants, who's enamored with his victory in Venezuela. And I think that's, I'll tell you, I mean, this is everyone's on an "I told you so" tour right now, and that's fair. I think we deserve it. I think people like me deserve it. And I think let's talk about why did we think that this would not happen? And the first Trump administration, really all administrations, personnel is policy. We often say that, right? And so our belief of the first Trump administration is that the staffing of neocons, of John Bolton, of Jared Kushner, of people like this, their worldview, especially with the departure of Steve Bannon, became the default policy of the United States under Donald Trump. There were, of course, various different things were happening. Trump can say all things to all people, and he really is that. If anything, that's his superpower. Okay?
Check this out, though. First of all, you're throwing too many big words at me. Okay? Now, because I don't understand them, I'm going to take them as disrespect.
Because I don't know who isn't watching this, what your familiarity with politics and all these different terminologies and things like that are. Neocons are heavily invested in bringing democracy and regime change to other nations, right? So Marco Rubio is a neocon. He wants to bring regime change to all these different areas, Cuba being one of them. That is probably next on the list. So when he uses that terminology, I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page, because I don't know where everybody's at. And sometimes, like when I'm watching some of this stuff, I have to look it up. So if it's something that I wasn't familiar with to begin with, I'll share it with y'all as we are going on this journey. But yeah, neocon, that's one of the things that they prioritize.
So that was the framework which we're operating. So there is a 4-year project after Trump is gone, after the 2020
It's kind of funny.
election.
Like a lot of us, we're telling people, like me and Nicole Wallace are out there telling people that Trump 2.0 will be worse because it's going to have all these other people in there.
Well, worse from your perspective.
From our perspective, right? That's what I'm saying. For the true believers, the MAGA types will all be in there. Like that was our framework of it as well. It's just like you thought it was a good thing, we thought it was a bad thing.
Well, it depends because here's how it ended up manifesting. So our belief over that 4-year period, and again, my belief at least, was that this professional elite project, so-called America First professional elite project, which is very in different organizations, personnel, people we've all met, conferences over the years, that those people would be able to transpose their ideas into the policy of the United States. Some of them became the vice president of the United States.
So let me break down like something that he hinted at. Like there are pretty much people in a lab somewhere, not labs, literally, that are developing these plans, right? They're developing these plans, Project 25, Project 2025, America First, all that different stuff, to get their worldview across, to get their policies, the plan on how to implement the change that they want to, in stages, even if it needs be, right? All that to say, like you really got to think deeper about what is happening in our face and what is potentially happening behind the scenes, because these people, you know, everybody says like, they agree with certain policies, they agree with certain rhetoric and things of that nature, but you got to think about what's happening behind the scenes. Like I said, Project 2025 is one of the greatest tellings of that, because people weren't really reading it, for one, and Trump just denied that he even knew the existence of it, and he's hit all the numbers on Project 2025. And now he's talking about America First, which is something that he bought into, and guess what? They didn't even follow it.
Pentagon, number 3, like you're talking about, and then a myriad different other people who are all across the administration. And the belief was that those ideas would be professionalized into policy. But what I've ended up seeing actually is an inversion, and this is something that I didn't really, that I dramatically underestimated, is that what it actually has translated into is that the so-called lesson of Trump 1 was that people were not loyal enough to him personally. And that means that whatever he thinks is the policy, the idea, or whatever, that will then be set through in terms of policy, and that there will actually be very little pushback whatsoever if he disagrees or undermining, etc., because they don't want to be seen as disloyal to the president, even though there were a lot of people who were disloyal, let's say, to the president.
Yeah, so think about that for a second as you think about the difference between Trump 1 presidency and Trump 2 presidency. He put in a lot of recommendations, right? People that were recommended to him that could do the job well and would be able to be like kind of checks and balances on what Trump wanted to do. And he did not appreciate that. He did not like people telling him no and not being supportive of him. Like, you remember there were a lot of firings. There were a lot of people, let go, this, that, and the third. There was the high turnaround rate in Trump 1. Fast forward to Trump 2, you get a lot of people that don't necessarily have an expertise in the fields that they've been put into, but they are loyal to a fault. And what we're getting right now is the results of when you put people in place that really don't know how to do the job, but one thing they do know how to do is be loyal to Donald Trump.
In the first term, but on a policy level, this time it's inverted. A lot of it is like personal, and that's why I gave the Versailles analogy. And so I have no idea what's going on with JD. I have no idea what's going on with any of these people, but I can only speculate that for a lot of them, they have to maintain their access to the president. And you can look at what happened with Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard did, what we thought people like her would do in the 12-day war. And she's like, I really don't think you should do this. I think this is a bad idea. And then she got, DNI'd, as in do not invite, to the Venezuela meeting, and she got humiliated, right, on national stage. She got struck on by Trump around that Hiroshima video Rubio, which I didn't even think was that big of a deal, but it caused like some sort of problems for her. And now she's got to go gallivanting around Fulton County, you know, searching for bamboo ballots or whatever, just to try and prove some like, you know, some loyalty or whatever to Donald Trump. So that is the unfortunate story. The thing that we really got wrong is we really believed, you know, that this project, which again, let's be honest, and you can even go pull the tape from, I never said Trump was the anti-war candidate. I was super honest. I was like, look, if you're pro-Palestinian, I literally did a monologue where I was like, if you're pro-Palestine, you should vote for Kamala. I was like, you're not getting what you want out of this administration. We knew that there would be trades whenever it came to the West Bank or Gaza. I don't think any of us, and again, maybe I can only speak for myself, when the vice president of the United States in October of 2024 goes on a podcast and says, I don't think that it's within our interest to go to war with Iran, I believed it. You know, and it's one of those where you could say, we told you so. Trump is a charlatan. We know. Yes. Okay. It's not that we had any faith in Trump. Okay. Anybody who had faith in Trump is an idiot. We had a faith in Trump. We had faith in the personnel who were around Trump. And I think, you know, when I say it's the greatest professional disappointment of my life, really what it is, it's like, it's been a hit on a multitude of areas. Because look, Israel, we knew it was going to happen. That was pretty much baked in, even though, by the way, they...
So again, that's him admitting, right? He was duped. He had faith that there would be enough competent people around Trump that there would be policies put in place that were going to benefit him and his view of how things should be run. And he's seen that, yeah, no, that's not the case. They didn't put anyone in there that was going to be, you know, provide that filter to be able to make sure that the things he wanted to do, the things that he believed in, the things that he thought Trump was going to do were going to actually happen. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why somebody as smart as him would have believed that was going to happen. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think you put a lot of faith in your party. I guess that's where it comes from. You put a lot of faith in your party and the fact that your party is going to come through and do the right thing based on conservative values. The person, it matters to me. The person matters to me, and what the person has done makes me lose all faith in what they're going to do the second time around. I always, if you show me your true colors once, I'm going to assume that the next time that you get me, it's going to be worse.
Still took that way farther than even I ever thought that they would. But then let's say we thought we'd end the war in Ukraine. Well, that hasn't happened either. We've whipsawed through this insane policy. We're like berating Zelensky, then he's our best friend, we're selling him weapons, and then we're not. Then we're doing summits with Putin. They end up being totally fake. Basically nothing has really happened on that front. And then let's say, you know, on the Iran situation, for me, I knew it was basically lost in the 12-day war. And really, I mean, you have to give it to the neocons. That what they have understood is that Trump is just enamored with the show of military force, and that alone is the easiest way to sway him. And, you know, there were some bad signs in the initial days of the admin, the appointment of Mike Waltz, Marco Rubio as Secretary of State. So I knew things were already not trending in the right direction, I guess.
And then here he's just going to keep going into the fact that, you know, given the 12-day war, he kind of knew that things weren't going to go the way that he thought they were going to go based on the campaign and his vote and things of that nature. He kind of seen the writing on the wall. But let me know what y'all think.